so forth across the United States or across the world. And the internet includes these big fiber optic cables that go under the ocean and satellite links and so forth. There's a lot of, it's really the hardware, chiefly wires and routers. And then this DNS system, which I said, which was the phone book where you had to look up what is everybody's address. That's the internet. And so it's a physical hardware thing. The web is basically a subset of the computers that are connected on the internet called web servers. Okay, you hear this term all the time. And they have a lot of information stored on them, so that information is part of the web, and they are capable of providing services like shopping and archiving videos so that you can see YouTube videos and things like that. That is all part of the web. So the web basically is, you're using that when you're using your browser like Internet Explorer or Firefox. When you're using that, you're using the web, and it's using this HTTP protocol. You take this all the time, so you know about that. And so that's the web. So it's the web servers, the information that they have access to, and the services that they can provide to you. But they run on the internet. The internet is underpinning it. If you have voice over IP, say your phone system uses the internet access, then you are using the internet, but you're not using the web then. When you send email, if you're using Yahoo or Gmail, one of them that has a web interface, then you're accessing your mail that way, but the actual transfer from one mail server to another mail server is the internet again. So most of us see all this as just sort of one big information resource, and that's the right way to see it. But as a general guideline, whenever you're using Firefox, you're using the web, and when you're using Internet Explorer and other times, and it uses the internet. So it's pretty straightforward.
So I'm not even sure if this is a question or how to ask it, but the guys who developed the internet, we were thinking about an efficient way to share data when you've got computers in different locations. And then in a very short period of time, it becomes the ultimate resource for pornography.
Yes, exactly. Right. Well, I suppose that's just the human condition right there. I mean, the moment you have a new tool, probably you want to figure out what can I use it for, and the benefit is that the internet, unlike sort of the development of the car or space or airplanes or anything like that, it's an information technology. So it's really connected to all the information we do. What physically happens here. Well, not much. We just transfer information and so forth. And of course, pornography is part of the space of information, so it was probably guaranteed immediately. I mean, if you thought about it 5 minutes, you'd probably figure, well, that's probably what's going to be. Main usage is going to be pornography.
I remember a few years ago there was some news item about some scientists had discovered a way to try to communicate sensation over the internet. And basically they had created some sort of physical device that had an input that would take signals sent from another location, which would stimulate heat or vibration or whatever.
Sure.
And they were saying the exact same thing I remember hearing in the early 90s about the World Wide Web, which is this is going to bring the people of the world together.
Yes.
And of course I'm just thinking, no, it's going to do the same thing the World Wide Web did, which is sex.
Exactly.
It's going to be used for
right.
self-pleasure.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. But I think, in fairness, though, I think that the internet has brought the world together in one very important way, and that is that I mentioned that you're using the web when you're using HTTP. Okay, this is the hypertext transfer protocol, and what it means is that your computer can talk HTTP, and everybody else's computer that wants to use the web can also talk HTTP, and so the computers basically move back and forth, move the information back and forth, and so web servers and so forth are doing this, and the effect is that all the people who are on the internet, the billions of people that have used it this year, more than 1 billion people have used the internet. And their computers all talk the same language. They don't all talk the same language. And the computers are all different. They're all configured differently. They have different data. They're running different programs and so forth. But because they all speak this one language, we can all watch Numa Numa Guy. Okay, and for better or for worse, we can all do it. And this has brought us together. This has given us a sort of common viewpoint that we talked about earlier. And I think that that's really a key aspect. And you think about it, you think, well, what if we actually just spoke the same language? That would be spectacular. It's not going to happen. But HTTP tells you how much distance you can cover even just by having machines speak the same language, and that's an awful lot of distance. So I think it has brought us together in that sense. It's true that probably most of the bits. Well, actually, right now, the biggest user of bandwidth on the internet is videos, Netflix videos. So it accounts for something like 20% of the traffic, I think. So it's an awful lot, and we don't know what those videos are, but you can make guess.
It's pretty good.
Okay.